Hello, my name is Mark Galvan. I'm a recruiting manager, and I have the privilege of giving you this audio overview of this opportunity for warehouse and delivery associate. The official title is Light Industrial Materials Handler, and you'll hear a lot more about what that means and why here in just a few minutes. Why we're doing this is extremely time sensitive. We are trying to identify and put into interviews people this week for start dates as soon as possible. And because we have 3 openings as of this moment, it's even more sensitive. So first of all, congratulations. You're a candidate. If you're listening to this right now, you are one of a couple people that we've already identified as people we're interested in. And this is our way of getting you information very, very quickly. See, typically what would happen right now is one of our recruiters would give you a call and we would give you a bunch of information over the phone and maybe provide additional information by email. And then we would ask you a bunch of questions and you'd kind of be on the spot for an impromptu interview. Typically, we just call that a phone screening, but that's a make it or break it conversation. If you don't get the answers right, you're done. So this is a very different process. I think you're going to enjoy it because right now you can listen to this at any point in time. So it's very efficient. We don't need to schedule a meeting with you. As soon as you get this link in this email, you can proceed with listening multiple times to this overview. And then depending on next steps, we're going to want you to complete a questionnaire. That's a pre-interview questionnaire where we are asking for very specific pieces of information that complement your resume because no one puts everything on their resume. And what we're looking for is typically not things that you would have on your resume. So the questionnaire is in many ways more important than the resume because of what we're asking. So here's the process. You were found because we already knew who you are. Maybe you were a candidate for a similar role, or you saw one of our job postings, or you got an email from us based on some sourcing we did where we found your resume. Regardless, we are only sending this to people that are already pre-approved. So that means you've been screened, we like you, we're interested in you, and we want to get more information to determine next steps. So you now have links to a job description. It's a more complete profile of the role with a link to this audio and an overview for all the benefits and rewards offered by the company and directions for next steps. So here's what's happening. If we proceed with next steps, this could go very, very quickly. Where, like I said, we are already beginning to identify folks for interviews. So we want to know if you are immediately available. Maybe you're in transition. If you're in transition and you're between jobs, maybe you can start right away. We want to know that. Or if you need to give a notice to an employer where you're currently working, that's okay too, because we have other start dates coming up. So either way is fine. So let me just stop for a second and ask if any one of these things is your current circumstances, this may be the ideal opportunity for you. Number one, maybe you're just between jobs and you're looking for work. This is legit. I mean, it's a full-time W-2 position with benefits long-term. So, it's extremely stable. It's a long-term opportunity. Maybe you're looking for more money. Maybe you've been working in a role over the past years and you don't have opportunities for promotion. You don't have opportunities to increase your wages. Well, this could be better. That's fine. Maybe you're just looking to get with a better company. I hear a lot of folks when they're coming out of either small businesses or places where they don't have the ideal circumstances, or they don't like the people they're working with for whatever reason. You're just looking for something different. That's great too. But honestly, one of the best things about this role is if you're looking for longevity, something long-term and stable, this is perfect. Now, we see a lot of folks that have like 3 or 4 jobs on their resume just in the last 2 or 3 years. That's a really bad situation to be in, because a lot of employers will screen you out if you don't have longevity in positions. So your goal needs to be, don't take a job unless you think you're going to be there for a year or more. Now, I understand there's bad things that happen and you got to take work, but it does not look good on a resume when you suddenly look like a job hopper because you've got 4 jobs in the last 2 years or 3 years. So this is a chance to fix that. If you're in the Richardson area, literally the work site is on the Texas Instruments campus, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, at 635 and 75 in the Richardson area, North Dallas. If you're in this area and you're looking for something stable, this can change your resume totally. So if any one of those things sound like you, listen up. As I said, my name is Mark Galvan. I'm a recruiting manager. I work for a third-party company, Proforce. So if you see the emails from our recruiting team or from our email address, we are embedded in the operations to support Logisticorp. Logisticorp is the hiring company. And in the recruiting department, our goal is to create a win-win relationship. You're going to win because this is ideal for you, and the company wins because you're the great candidate they're looking for. And that requires us to be very transparent about the work. We're gonna tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, everything about the work right now as you're listening to this, so you can decide before you're done if this is something that you're interested in moving forward with or not. I sometimes joke around and say, my job is to either scare you or excite you. And that's kind of true. Hopefully, I'm going to be honest and forthright enough for you to say, holy smokes, that is not what I'm looking for. And you disengage and we never see you again and you don't waste any more time. Or you think, wow, that sounds great. I would love that. And this sounds great, sounds fine, and I want to move forward. So either way is a win. So there's no artificial intelligence involved here. These are all real people. I'm actually physically in Frisco, Texas, and our offices are around the Metroplex with a major office over in Las Colinas. So we are real people, and this is a real deal. So I just mentioned a little bit about the company. Let me talk a little bit more about the project and the company that's doing the hiring. So Logisticorp has a long-term contract with Texas Instruments. This is a materials movement warehouse logistics contract. We've got 50 plus people on the campus of Texas Instruments doing all kinds of things. Most of the time, the roles are working within warehouse operations. If you've ever seen the Texas Instruments campus, it's massive. It's like, you could be driving down 635 and you feel like you've gone 3 miles along TI Boulevard and, you're still in the Texas Instruments space. Well, there's 60 plus buildings on the entire campus, and it's a 24-hour operation. TI is a manufacturing facility and the North American headquarters. So another benefit from a career perspective is when you're working to support a company that has a global brand recognition to it, that changes, it completely transforms your future value. Somebody looks at you and your resume and says, wow, this gal has worked for a Texas Instruments contract. That's a big deal. So Logisticorp has the contract as an outsourced provider for all of the movement of materials on the campus and maintenance of warehouse operations and other things. So as we talk about the job, one of the things that makes up the job is constant movement, because you're moving parts and materials between different facilities, different departments, and different people, and different buildings on the campus. So there's basically 3 aspects to the role. One is warehouse operations, where it's all indoors, okay? So this isn't like an Amazon job where you're out delivering and you're in and out of the wet all the time. This is an indoor job, and the warehouses are very large. They take trucks that back up to docks for unloading and unloading, and the buildings have elevators and long corridors. They're very large buildings, and so you might be delivering something to a department that is a quarter of a mile away in the same building. So you're doing walking and delivery. And when you're doing that, there are carts that move all the materials. There's all different types of carts with wheels, everything from pallet jacks to handheld carts to other rolling carts that move cargo and boxes and equipment. Some of them are little packages, some are larger packages. So the first, again, aspect to the job is warehouse operations. The second is the walking around and delivering stuff indoors to all these different places. And then the third is driving. There are some small vehicles that are used for picking up and moving things from location to location. And it doesn't require a commercial driver's license. So, I mean, you can have a Class B CDL, and that's great, but it's not required. If you've got a regular Class C driver's license, you're good to go. If you've got a clean driving record and you pass all the other checks, then this is a no-brainer. And it's funny, as I'm talking about this, I reflect back on my own personal career. And back when I was young, one of my first jobs was warehouse operations. And I had driving responsibilities associated with that as well. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it opened me up to other opportunities within the company. And it was one of the most important decisions of my life to get into a professional company that would look good on a resume, because that catapulted me and my career over time. So, don't underestimate the long-term value of a role like this. So once again, if you're not able to drive, or you have something on your driving record that's going to knock you out, that could be a problem. If you're not able to walk during the daytime and just push a cart and deliver things, walk around indoors, jump in and out of a car at a dock, a small truck, then that's a requirement for the job, and you've got to be able to do that because you're doing this all day. I remember somebody that works at a supermarket was telling me that they walk 5 to 8 miles a day just in the supermarket, because I think it was like, one of these regular grocery stores we all go to. But when you work in a grocery store, you're on your feet all day long. You're stocking shelves and fixing displays and working at the cash register and going to pick up carts. And I was just kind of shocked that, you put on that many miles a day. I was thinking, wow, you get exercise and you get paid at the same time. That's pretty good. So this is kind of like that. You're going to be busy all day long, but it is indoors and there's driving responsibilities. Now, the other thing that's really interesting is we're dealing with the general public. All of the customers are professional engineers, project managers, department leads for Texas Instruments. So you're embedded in the operations and you're seeing the same people every day. So one of the things that's important to us is we like people. You could be the greatest driver or the greatest warehouse person in the world. Maybe you don't even have any of that experience, but you've got hospitality experience. You have customer service experience. Guess what? We're gonna take you seriously, because a people person is one of the most important characteristics that make people successful in this role. Because driving around, delivering stuff, anybody can do that. But, when you're positive and you're happy and you're talking to people and getting to know people every day and seeing people and they like you, then it makes every day great to come to work. So, again, you may not have all the background that we're looking for, but if you're a people person and you like customer service or you have a hospitality background, then you're definitely somebody that we're interested in speaking with you. So, like I was saying a minute ago, I think one of the long-term benefits to a position like this is not just the money and the fact that you get a job right away. I mean, that's great. That's short-term. But the long-term is it's a long-term job. It's great to have big company logos on your resume. You actually get more valuable in the future when you can show that you've worked for large, stable, globally recognized brands. And also, there's some achievements you're going to be able to gain from working with the organization that are going to make you look even stronger. Let me explain what I mean by that. Most of the time when we look at resumes of people, everyone starts to look the same because, the duties and responsibilities from job to job are really not that different if it's the same role. It doesn't matter what company you work for. So when everybody has the same duties and responsibilities, no one looks different. Everyone kind of looks the same. But when you have achievements, when you have accomplishments on your resume, now you really stand out. So this is a place for you to have a significant impact on your career. If you're looking for something that will change the course of your life, and I'm a perfect example of that. If you ever have a chance to talk to me, I'll tell you my personal story, but it can be a game changer for you to have all these benefits in one job. So the requirements for the job has some pretty serious eligibility expectations. You got to pass a criminal background check. If you have something dumb from a long time ago, okay, that might slide. But if you have something serious, if you have a felony, you have an assault, something like that, you don't even want to apply. Don't even try to get past the process, because it will get found out. And, it's embarrassing. It's a waste of time and all that stuff. If you've got a problem, then, there's places that specialize in helping folks get second chances. Okay. And, we can do the hookup on that information. You can just send us an email and ask about that. But if you're good on a background check, then the next thing is a drug test. You got to be clean. Don't think that, hey, you did something 2 weeks ago and you've been clean since. It's going to show up. So, if that's, something that you've struggled with, this isn't going to work, because they are going to find it. Don't try to think it's going to get passed over. You got to have a clean motor vehicle records check. So, a ticket is one thing for speeding at some point, but if you've got something serious or you've got a pattern on your motor vehicle background, then that's going to be an issue. So, those are things that are important. I mentioned again a few minutes ago that you got to have a driver's license, and you're going to, pass some basic skills, and you will also have some other hoops to jump through, but we'll walk you through that process to get all of those things taken care of. High school required, English required, basic math skills required. I would challenge you to take a look at the downloadable job description, the overview position profile, because it'll have all the details. And again, if you're a people person, if you're dependable, if you are customer service oriented, and you want to make a difference, and you want to change the course of your career, any one of those things makes you the kind of person we're interested in speaking with. Okay, so like I said, I was going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly about the job so you can make a decision. This is about, respect for you and giving you all the information so that you don't find out later after you're on your third interview that, this isn't going to work, okay? That's not cool to do to you as a candidate. So at this point, we want to invite you, if this is all interesting to you and it sounds good, then please, 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 this is extremely time sensitive. Like we're already having meetings on how we're going to expedite interviews, okay? So please fill out the questionnaire, and we will get that immediately in real time. We will start to review that and figure out next steps. And take your time. Give us any information you can. Don't be short on your answers. If there's something you want to share with us, tell us. If you want to see that you're a people person, show it. If you want to stand out, then be thorough with your answers. And for whatever reason, if you're not selected for the job, then hey, we'll give you some links to some resources that other people pay for, but they'll help you with your resume and interviewing and other things just to help you on your job search. All right, that's our promise to you if you take your time to be a candidate with us. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention is on the questionnaire, you're going to be asked, what positions are you interested in? Because we have multiple different shifts available. These require you to work weekends and have days off during the week. So you're going to either have Monday and Tuesday off or Wednesday and Thursday off. But the good news is you still have your days, because they're either swing shift, late afternoon to evening, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night, swing shift, or they're nighttime. So if you're looking for something at night, then that's perfect. Okay, so tell us which ones you're interested in, and we will get you aligned with the schedule that best meets your needs. All right? Okay. That's it from me. This is a little longer than I wanted, but thank you so much. We're excited to see you in the process and look forward to getting your information.